Star Wars does not start with Anakin Skywalker. Star Wars starts with Shmi Skywalker, his mother, on the planet of Tatooine, doing the best she can to take care of him. And Star Wars in my family starts with my parents, with my dad mostly. He's the one who's obsessed with Star Wars and watched it hundreds of times and watched it in theaters. And he's the one who took me and my brothers to see it in theaters. He's the one who I've gone to Disney World to experience Star Wars at Disney World with. Sorry, the cat is being a nuisance. My fondest Star Wars memories with him, honestly, is probably going to be taking him to Rise of the Resistance for the first time, which isn't necessarily about the movies like everything else has been, which I love the ride, but like his sense of awe of seeing him do that, of seeing him meet Darth Vader reminds me of just how important Star Wars is to him and how much it really has shaped our family. And then with my older brother, me and him he's actually the one who's inspired this conversation. He's inspired a lot of this series because me and him used to talk about Star Wars all the time. Back in the mid-2000s, Clone Wars was out. It was a couple seasons in, but we still haven't even, there was not even the thought of the sequels yet. Disney didn't even buy Star Wars yet. It was just that was our Star Wars. We never expected more. There was Family Guy Star Wars and parodies and stuff, but there was no sequels. There weren't no TV shows like they have now. There was just the Clone Wars cartoon. None of this other stuff, which the other stuff is great, and me and him still talk about it, but we used to go through walks in the Cleveland Metro Parks and talk about this. We debate what the meaning of the prophecy was and if Anakin was the chosen one and whether bringing balance to the Force was, taking out all the Jedi and bringing it down to 2 and 2, or if bringing balance to the Force was him getting rid of the Sith finally. Like, most Star Wars thoughts and opinions I have, most Star Wars things I would talk about and argue about, and theories I've had, started with him. Whether they may be mine now, they've been shaped by my experiences, my time on the internet, but they all started on walks through the Cleveland Metro Parks talking to him. And as for my little brother, he and I went with our dad and watched all of the sequels released in theaters. And that was just a wonderful time. Like, that was a great time overall. It was, he was my stepbrother. That's pretty close to when he first came into the family. And so, that was one of our first bonding experiences as a family, was watching it together. And finally, I'd like to talk about my little cousin. With him, I actually taught him to quote Star Wars as a little kid. We used to play Star Wars for him all the time. He loved it as a little tyke. He's changed over the years because he's grown up, but still, his early years, Star Wars was all of it, and that's how I grew close to him.